Good morning, everyone. While waiting for our others to join us this morning, may I request you to open up your cameras so that we can take an initial photo before we start our activity, our event. Wow, talaga namang Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao talaga tayo. I can see. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. Bads, let us know if you captured the photos, yeah?
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Isa pa, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yay! Thank you again for joining us this morning. We are launching today our campaign for 1 million signatures to pass the poverty reduction through social entrepreneurship bill in the Philippines. And maybe just a round of introductions from coalition partners and all who are present this morning before we start our event. I can start. I'm Gomer from the Present Coalition Secretariat. I am based at the Institute for Social Entrepreneurship in Asia. And thank you for joining our activity this morning. And we look forward for your participation in the other activities that we will be doing. Maybe I can also take this opportunity to introduce my co-host, or have Lauren introduce herself as my co-host this morning.
Thank you so much, Gomer, and good morning, everyone. We're very happy to have all of you here in our Facebook Live as we launch the petition campaign. So I'm Lauren Bustos. You may just call me as Lauren. So I'm also helping Gomer as member of the Present Secretariat team. And I'm very happy that we are all here gathered today to hear everybody's, support for the present coalition and for the present bill. So perhaps we could also introduce some of ourselves so that we can get to know each other, the supporters and the champions of the present bill. So who
Okay,
would like?
maybe we can pass it to our convener, Miss Lisa, before we go to our coalition friends.
Sure.
Yeah, hello. Lisa Dakanay here, and I'm really happy that we have a star-studded launch, meaning to say we see here many founders and heads of social enterprises and social enterprise resource institutions, and I'm really happy that we're doing this today. Thank you.
Okay, we'll start from Mindanao. Let's start from the Bangsamoro region. Salika, can you start introducing yourself?
Hi, hello, good morning. Assalamualaikum. My name is Halika Maguindanao, but I am a Marinao from Marawi City, co-founder of Marinao Collectible Social Enterprise. So, Assalamualaikum. Glad to know you, everyone.
Thank you, Salika. From Salika, we go to Miss Georgie.
Hello, good morning. My name is Joji Pantoja from Coffee for Peace, a social enterprise also. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Georgie. Miss Nanette, also from Mindanao.
Ay, maayong buntag sa tanan. Good morning. I'm Nanette Antiquesa from Ecosystems Work for Essential Benefits and also from EcoSustain Solution, a social enterprise. Good morning.
Also, Nanette's colleague is Anwar.
Yes, and I have here Anwar, and I'm also like a secretary representative of National Anti-Poverty Commission, Victims of Disaster and Calamities. Yeah.
Go ahead, Mr. Anwar, please.
My colleagues from EcoWeb, please introduce yourselves.
If not, we can move to
Inji.
we can come back to them later, Miss Nanette. Kasi I just noticed si EG just came in. Baka nag-ano pa siya. Let's go to the Visayas. Mr. Ok, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, hello, good morning to all. I'm Aukid Sangay. I'm the co-founder and present CEO of 8FI, a social enterprise engaged in supplying water to waterless upland communities all over the country.
From 8FI, we go to Alter Trade. Sir Ted? Hello, Sir Ted. You can...
Yung aga. I'm Edwin Lopez. I'm from Alter Trade Foundations. And we've been participating in activities of present. And we hope that our bill will be will successfully be supported by our for advocates for social enterprises. Good morning.
Thank you, Sir Ted. Let's go to April. April, go ahead. You can open your camera and your mic.
Hi, good morning. I'm Buntag from Cebu. This is April Ongvanio from Colabox, a social enterprise also based in Cebu and Manila. We collaborate with fellow social entrepreneurs with projects and programs to support the SDGs.
Thank you, April. Let's go to Maan from Happy Helpers.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Gomer, for inviting me today. So very excited about what's going to happen and what's going to be discussed today. Thank you.
Thanks, Maan. Panya.
Hi, everyone. My name is Panya. I'm the founder of City Hub, wherein we convert old shipping containers as affordable living houses.
Thank you, Man. Thank you, Panya. Good morning. We also have Dios Mabalospo Foundation. Can you introduce yourself also?
Hello po, good morning.
Good morning po.
I'm from Dios Mabalospo Foundation po, ni Ma'am Mary Magiatrix Villanueva.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us this morning. We also have fellow advocates. John, can you come in? JP, can you come in and introduce yourself, please?
Magandang umaga po sa lahat. I'm John Uminga. I'm from Enablers Incorporated, a development research social enterprise, and also currently a PhD student on a social entrepreneurship at the Queensland University of Technology. Pleasure being with everyone and to be here also. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me call on our national partners. Carlo, maybe you can start.
Hi, good morning to everyone in this forum and to the members of the present coalition and all the collaborators for the passing of the present bill. I am Carlo Sagun, a director of Bayan Academy, which is really aiming to democratize social entrepreneurship for the betterment of the Filipinos in general. So we are here in full support of the passing of this present bill.
Thank you, Carlo. Can we go to Anna? Anna Tan of Accent, please. Thanks.
Oh, sorry, my internet's a little spotty. Hi, everyone. I'm Anna Tan from the Ateneo Center for Social Entrepreneurship. Happy to be here.
Thank you. Norby? Hello, Norby. Can you come in and introduce yourself? Sorry, Norby is multitasking and leading another meeting separately. So maybe we can come back to him at another time. I see we also have Vince Rapisura.
Hi.
Vince. Thank you for joining us.
Hello. Happy to be here.
Introduce yourself, Vince, for the others.
Yeah. So yeah, hi, I'm Vince. I used to be a student of Miss Lisa. Yeah, proud student. Yeah, our guru. Yeah. So yes, I'm president of SETI Group of Enterprises, and I'm happy to be here and support the present year.
Yay, thank you for joining us this morning, Vince. We also have Shim from the Morapreneur Incorporated. Shim, can you come in and introduce yourself, please?
Hi, good morning, sir. This is Gabs from the Morapreneur Incorporated, sir.
Yay, Gabs, thank you for joining this morning. We also have fellow advocates. Ali de la Peña.
Hi, good morning. I'm Ali from Colabox. It's nice to be here.
Thank you, Ali. We also have Camille Navarro.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Camille Navarro from Move to Change Foundation. So we work with the youth and also promote activities for social enterprise. I'm here with my colleagues, Roniel and Sasha.
Yes, thank you for joining. I'm about to introduce Roniel Cupido and Sasha Cueco. Can you also come in
Yes.
and introduce yourselves? Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Like what Camille said, we're from Move to Change, and we aspire to promote social entrepreneurship with our partners, not only families, but the youth as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Roniel. Sasha?
Hi, good morning. Basically, just what like Camille and Ron said, we are here. Move to Change Foundation promotes healthy families for a healthy enterprise. So happy to be.
Thank you. We also have Engelbert.
Hello, sir. Ma'am, good morning to all. And I'm from De La Salle University, Manila at Engineering Department. And happy to be here. And maraming salamat po.
Thank you. We also have Richelle Carlos and John Francia, colleagues from Bayan Academy. Can you come in?
Hi, sorry, something's wrong with my video, but hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Rachel Carlos from Bayan Academy with John.
Thank you, John.
Hi, Gomer. Yeah, so I'm John Francia, also from Bayan Academy. So I think Carl already made an introduction, but we're very happy to be here to push the SE bill with the present coalition.
Yay, thank you. Did I miss anyone?
Mitos.
Oh, yes, of course. Our international partner, Miss Mitos.
Thank you, Lisa. Hello, everyone. Solidarity greetings from Chiang Mai in Thailand. I'm Mitos Orhel, and I'm the president of the World Fair Trade Organization in Asia, a network of 150 fair trade enterprises in the region. And we are a member of the Institute of Social Entrepreneurship in Asia, ISEA. Thank you.
Thanks, Miss Mitos. Norby, I think you're ready to come in.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Norby Salonga. I'm from De La Salle University's Lasallian Social Enterprise for Economic Development. It's the LSU Center for Social Entrepreneurship. Thank you.
Yes, I think we already had everyone. Oh, Kevin, is that you from ESIP? We lost him again. We'll come back and introduce the other participants maybe at a different segment of our event this morning. And to start and to actually, for us to be on the same page on our policy advocacy and to look at the salient features of the Poverty Reduction through Social Entrepreneurship Bill, may I call on Ms. Lisa Dacanay to for a short presentation.
Thank you, Gomer. And as I see that everybody here is actually, not everybody, most of you are actually familiar with the present bill because you're members of the Poverty Reduction through Social Entrepreneurship Coalition. This will just be a short presentation to make sure that for those of you who are not yet members and who are here because you want to learn about the Poverty Reduction through Social Entrepreneurship Bill, we prepared a short presentation on its main features. No? So let me now go to the main features of the Poverty Reduction through Social Entrepreneurship Bill. First slide, Gomer, please. Yeah. The Poverty Reduction through Social Entrepreneurship Bill codifies a policy environment conducive to social entrepreneurship. And it's a strategy, actually, for poverty reduction on a grand scale. No? So it's not just poverty reduction helping to move people out of poverty in the hundreds, but we're wanting to contribute to the Sustainable Development Goal of zero poverty by 2030. Of course, it's also a strategy to accelerate the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals, no? Because prior to the pandemic, the United Nations system had already recognized that many of the Sustainable Development Goals were failing, and they saw social enterprises as actually accelerators of the SDGs. No? And then third, it's a strategy for building back fairer post-COVID. We all know that COVID-19 has impacted negatively on many social enterprises. So 96%, in fact, from the survey that we did on social enterprises and the impact of COVID on them and the poor that they serve, 96% of social enterprises were severely to moderately affected by COVID. And actually, social enterprises now face the challenge, no, of recovering even as they contribute to poverty reduction, accelerating the achievement of the SDGs, and building back fairer. So next slide, please. Let me now go to the key features, no? How does poverty reduction through social entrepreneurship bill is actually going to help social enterprises. As we know, social enterprises now comprise 18% of all social enterprise of all enterprises in the country. No, there's about 1 million or so social enterprises, and more than 164,000 of these enterprises are actually social enterprises, which in the bill are actually called social enterprises with the poor as primary stakeholders, or social enterprises with the marginalized as primary stakeholders. No? So one of the first things that the bill does is to recognize social enterprises as especially those that are engaging the poor as primary stakeholders, as workers, as suppliers, as clients, and as partners in development to actually be recognized as partners. A second feature of the bill is the qualification of social enterprises and in its various forms. No? Because as we know, social enterprises have grown by leaps and bounds since the time that we started to study the social enterprises. In 2008, when I did a study on social enterprises, we noted that there were about 30,000. No? But in the latest study in 2017 of the Philippine Social Enterprise Network with ESCAP, actually there were already 164, and they come in various forms, no? Cooperatives, corporation, stock for profit corporations, non-stock non-profit corporations, foundations, single proprietorships, partnerships, associations. No? So we're wanting to recognize that these various forms exist. And what we have in the bill is a qualification, the need for a qualification process for social enterprises to avail of government support. No? So this is not this is not a certification process. No, we're not. The bill does not talk about certification because it doesn't mean that if you do not get qualified as a social enterprise by the process in government that you are not a social enterprise. No, we're just needing a qualification process for social enterprises so that they can avail of various government support and incentives. And so is this same is true with a qualification process for social enterprise resource institutions to qualify for government support and participation in the council. And that's the third feature in the bill. There is a social enterprise development council that will be set up. to actually manage national poverty reduction through social entrepreneurship program, to govern national poverty reduction through social entrepreneurship program. And in the current version of the stakeholders version, there are 20 agencies with 9 representatives from the social enterprise sector. And the key agencies that will be involved will be the Department of Trade and Industry, in charge of enterprise development in the country, the Department of Agriculture, because many of the poor are still in the rural areas and are farmers and agricultural workers, the DSWD, because the poor in their numbers are actually being served through the Sustainable Livelihood Program of the SWD, and they're stakeholders as well of social enterprises. And also NAPSI, the National Anti-Poverty Commission, because the bill is linked to the task or the objective of poverty reduction. So the National Poverty Reduction through Social Entrepreneurship Program, which is the 4th main feature of the bill, I actually does not only help social enterprises per social enterprise, yeah, but it actually presents strategic economic subsectors as units of planning. So next slide, please. What are strategic economic subsectors? Strategic economic subsectors are those that have potentials for growth and have large numbers of the poor where they are players or could become players. No? So they're identifiable by raw material source or finished product. So examples of strategic economic subsectors where social enterprises with the poor as primary stakeholders are already playing key roles are here actually in the coalition and are participating today. They range from cocoa coir to muscovado to organic rice, coffee, cacao, banana, basic and essential oils, livestock, bamboo, educational toys, school chairs. I'm sure I didn't mention every strategic economic subsector that's represented here, but it's just to say that the intent of the bill is to move people out of poverty at a scale that is grand, yeah, so that we're wanting to target strategic economic subsectors where the poor are concentrated and could be major players, so that, for example, in the cocoa coir subsector alone, no, you can actually provide 1.5 million 3 million jobs, no, to fishers and coconut farmers just by developing fully this coconut coir subsector, no? And that was a study that was that resulted that study on the cocoa coir subsector was actually done by the Foundation for Sustainable Society Incorporated way back in 2010. And the desired impact of all this, of course, is poverty reduction on a grand scale. So the other features of the bill have to do with support programs for social enterprises, and the most important is probably hybrid financing. We all know that we as social enterprises, we have a social mission, and at the same time we also need to be sustainable as enterprises, no? So the bill provides for hybrid financing so that there's a social enterprise development fund that provides grants in order to provide transformational services for the poor to be engaged as stakeholders of social enterprises. As we know, the funds coming from profits of social enterprises is not enough to level up many of the poor to become effective stakeholders immediately, yeah? So that this takes time and grants are needed to do that. The other aspect of hybrid financing is, of course, non-collateralized loans through a special credit window with a guarantee fund pool. No? One of the reasons why SMEs, small and medium enterprises, are not able to get loans, no? Even if so much money is available for loans to SMEs, is because they don't have collateral. And here we're wanting to resolve that dilemma by providing non-collateralized loans through through special credit windows with a guarantee fund pool. Of course, part of the support programs will also be a comprehensive insurance system for crops, for the enterprise itself, and for the people who are stakeholders of these social enterprises. Research and development program on the strategic economic subsector, so that we're able to identify what are the most strategic economic subsectors that government should be investing in, so that we can actually uplift most of our uplift the poor out of poverty and achieve zero poverty. And of course, research and development, also in terms of innovations. In the Philippines, I haven't seen too many social enterprises engage in education and health, no? Unlike, for example, in Indonesia, where you have hospitals for the poor, no? That are providing health services for free to the poor. And so we're wanting to look at innovative models of social enterprises that could provide basic social services to the poor, in addition to the livelihoods and the decent jobs that are being provided by social enterprises. Another feature of support programs is market development. So we are wanting to promote fair trade and ethical markets, and we're wanting government to actually be a partner in promoting this. Of course, the role of local government units in social enterprise development. We have we have many devolved government agencies, and the devolution process is actually happening until now in a grander scale. And that's the reason why we're very happy that social enterprises who are present here in this launch are actually coming from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, because local government units need to be engaged in social enterprise development. The other feature in terms of support programs is social entrepreneurship content in the educational system. We do already have Ateneo de Manila University and La Salle University providing social entrepreneurship content in their educational programs, but we're wanting that this be systematically done through the DepEd as well as CHED. And so this is a feature of the bill as well. And then as a feature for building back or as a feature to assist social enterprises recover from disasters and from pandemics, such as what we have now, we have incorporated in the stakeholders version that we're lobbying in Congress a social enterprise recovery and rehabilitation program and fund. So those are the various support programs for social enterprises featured in the bill. And the next would be, next slide, please, incentives for social enterprises as well as social investors. No, the incentives for social enterprises and social investors include a special allocation or a preferential treatment in terms of government procurement, so that we don't have to go through bidding, or if the bidding process is done, that a preferential treatment be given to social enterprises given their social mission. And then a second is tax exemptions, or if tax exemptions are not possible, tax credits, which would recognize the social value that is being created by social enterprises, so that such social value created should be credited as tax breaks. Yeah. Another would be cash incentives, and the cash incentives include at least 25% of the minimum wage for social enterprises employing persons with disabilities. And this is important because the current policies actually recognize, for example, that persons with disabilities can be given 75% of minimum wage. No? And what we're wanting to do is for persons with disabilities to actually be given the same wage as persons who are not persons with disabilities, so that a 25% of the minimum wage cash incentive for social enterprises is actually enshrined in the current stakeholders version of the bill. So these are just some of the features. So let me just end by actually sharing with you and reiterating two perspectives that I've already shared. Next slide, please. The present bill before the pandemic was actually being seen by us as a bill that could support social enterprises as game changers in accelerating the sustainable development goals, no, of zero poverty, no hunger, reduced inequality, gender equality, decent jobs and inclusive growth, inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and responsible consumption and production, as well as sustainable communities. And what we're actually saying is, given that where COVID-19 has affected the poor the most, and we're pushing for that given that COVID-19 has affected the poor the most, and 96% of social enterprises are actually affected by the COVID-19, the urgency of the present bill and the present program to support social enterprises as critical partners towards inclusive recovery and building back fairer is what is pushing us to ask President Duterte and to ask Congress to tag the present bill as urgent. Thank you very much, Gomer.
And I think the next part of our program is for us to show support on the present coalition and move to the launch of our 1 million signatures, to gather 1 million signatures for the present, to pass the present bill. But before that, maybe I'll ask Lauren to come in, and as we feature 2 videos from the present coalition. Lauren?
You're on mute, Lauren.
Hi, everyone. So I'll be presenting 2 of the video entries that we have from our supporters. So I will just quickly share my screen.
As a background, we actually solicited videos of support from coalition partners and stakeholders, and we will feature the early 2 submissions now. Go ahead, Lauren.
All right, guys.
We support the passing of the Present Bill now!
Ang Bayan Academy ay isang NGO na sumusuporta sa pag-usbong at paglago ng mga social enterprises at ng mga komunidad nito.
Kaya sinusuportahan din namin ang pagpasa ng Present Bill ngayon na!
Okay, so that's 2 entries that we received from AI-IDFI and Bayan Academy.
We didn't see the video of AIDFI.
I believe it's the first one. Let me
It
try.
wasn't shown.
Okay, let me try to share it again.
It was shown.
It was shown at the beginning, I believe.
Yeah, it was shown.
Sorry, maybe my my internet is just unstable.
I saw it.
Yes.
Okay. Now we would want to get support from, get messages of support from our coalition partners and all who are present here this morning before we go to the change.org petition. Maybe we can start again with our colleagues and friends in Mindanao. Salika, can you come in again?
Yes, good morning again. My name is Salika Maguindanao, co-founder of Marina Collectible, a social enterprise born out of Marawi Siege, and we promote weaving as livelihood opportunity for all. As a practitioner and member of the coalition, we are seeking your support and approval of the present bill. Just like what we have started, our social enterprise have and is continuing to help our partners whom are weavers and local crafts makers.
Na-mute, Salika.
Po ang magiging partners, mas dadami pa ang matutulungan at mas madami pang makakaahon sa kahirapan. Marina Collectible Service Cooperative, along with our 67 members and the many social enterprises here in Marawi City and Lanao del Sur, support the present bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Salika. That's a very good message. Let me remind everyone to please introduce yourself and your organization at the start of your intervention so that we can also use it as content in our social media accounts later. From Salika, we go to Miss Nanette of EcoWeb, please.
Thank you, Gomer. And magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Again, I'm Nanette Antiquiasa, Executive Director of EcoWeb. We're also co-founded the Eco-Sustain Solution. EcoWeb is a 15-year-old NGO working on the poverty reduction and as among our programs. And we see actually the importance of social enterprise and social entrepreneurship as a strategy. Ang EcoWeb po ay working with indigenous peoples, farmers, and other community-based entrepreneurs. Since 2015, we started this enterprise for Abaca to help communities of indigenous peoples. And we see actually in that 5 years of journey, how important it is now for these community enterprises that would help the poor, the marginalized, and the vulnerable, be supported more so that they can really yung strengthen their capacity. And we see actually the importance of the role of social entrepreneurs and social enterprises. And in fact, EcoWeb, and on the process, established this own social enterprise as well called Ecosystem Solution, because we see actually in the process, mahirap talaga yung maliliit, no, na hindi mo siya matutulungan. And we see actually the passage of this bill as a great support, no, that we can actually provide to those struggling poor and community-based initiatives. And we really hope that our government would really support this. We have seen it on the ground, how important yung pagtutulungan, for we see that addressing poverty is an effort that should be like embraced and as a partnership and as a collective effort. And me as a representative also of the victims of disaster and calamity sector in the National Anti-Poverty Commission, we don't see only the social enterprise as to address poverty reduction, but also as important strategy in helping the poor, the vulnerable, and the marginalized to cope, especially with the impact of disasters. Now, COVID, we see the impact of pandemic, and like in our case, the Abaca enterprise, for example, during this COVID time, we have seen how the social enterprise helped Abaca farmers from the uplands, the hinterlands, able to access the market despite the pandemic. And if only we have this program, this policy that can support more social enterprises that we have initiated and others are initiated, we see actually the great potential of this strategy to help more poor, and as we're saying, scale up all this initiative to help address more people, more marginalized, to not only address poverty, but also cope with the disasters and impact of the pandemic. Thank you so much, and let's pass the present bill now.
Thank you, Ms. Nanette. So from Iligan, we move to Davao. Ms. Georgie.
Good morning. Ako si Georgie Pantoja from Coffee for Peace. It's a social enterprise that we have started to address farmers, marginalized farmers here in conflicted areas at the most, para matulungan sila at ma-uplift sa present situation and amplify their voices to the government so that they will have opportunity to have livelihood, good livelihood and good income. So I support itong ating present bill because it will give our social entrepreneurs an identity to have policy environment. And yung sinabi ni Ms. Lisa, we really support yung nilagay na strategies dito. That's why we are very supportive, because it will give us a recognition to collaborate with our local government unit and with our government agencies, that social entrepreneurs are a help to what the government is already doing, and we are representing private, cooperative, association, NGOs, and other entities, sole entrepreneurs, sole proprietorship, that would work towards alleviation of the poor. Not only poverty reduction, but the sustainability of it, working together. So let's support this present bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Georgie. We move on to, am I missing someone from Mindanao? Oh, I guess our friends from TMI. Gaps, can you come in for the statement of support? Are you still there? Oh, I don't see Gap I don't see gaps anymore. Maybe let's move to the Visayas then, and let's start with Ok.
Good morning again. So yes, I'm Auke Idzenga. This is our statement on the Social Enterprising Bill. The Alternative Indigenous Development Foundation Incorporated, or AIDFI, which is a Philippine social enterprise, strongly supports the present bill and hopes that the 4 different versions sponsored by 3 senators and the present coalition will soon be merged in a workable social enterprising bill. The target of the present coalition is to gather 1 million signatures, and therefore we urge our fellow Filipinos to sign up for the passing of this bill. Social enterprising, like we with AIDFI practice, is centered around social issues and should not be looked upon as just doing some projects. In our case, our mission is to supply waterless upland communities and farms with water and to trigger further development. Our group is owned by all our regular members together, and any eventual profit is reinvested in the program to reach out to even more poorest of the poor. While doing our work in far-flung and isolated areas under often difficult circumstances, we get, besides our job security, fair wages and benefits, fulfillment from seeing the effect of our work. Imagine changing lives completely by bringing water near the doorsteps of households who before had to bring in water manually, causing lots of challenges. Our work provides improved health, sanitation, and opportunity for water-related livelihoods. We work in areas often neglected and can therefore be seen as complementing the programs of the government. Actually, we are reaching out to those who are not being reached for different reasons. We see the government as our partner and need to be seen the same by them. But the reality is that we are often treated as regular businesses and face more hindrances, rules, and regulations. We want to concentrate on our social mission and not spend our time and money in the bureaucracy. We need recognition and stimulation, especially in the aftermath of the COVID-19, where hundreds of thousands of jobs are lost. Social enterprising can help create new ones for those who are the hardest hit. Therefore, our urgent call for the passing of the present bill. Salamat.
Thank you. Okay. Can we go to April of Cola Box?
Once again, good morning. Maing buntag from Cebu. My name is April Ongvanio of Cola Box. We are a social enterprise with a mission to promote the Sustainable Development Goals through collaboration in projects and programs with fellow social innovators and entrepreneurs. We also build linkages in intersecting disciplines and sectors so that we can work towards this vision. We support the present coalition in this endeavor to pass the present bill, which recognizes the role and impact of the positive impact of social enterprises as a driver for economic development. So as we work towards achieving the global goals, we actually have the final decade towards SDG 2030. We invite Filipinos across sectors to support and come together, take action and collaborate so that these goals will have progress, especially here in the Philippines. So in particular, through this present bill, this is a concrete step towards achieving that, especially SDG 1 to achieve zero poverty. So once again, thank you to the coalition and to all the advocacy and policy advocates from the present coalition. And we invite everyone to support this campaign. Daghang salamat.
Thank you, April. Now can we go to Jos Mabalos Foundation for your statement of support? Oh, before we call on Jos Mabalos Foundation while they are preparing, may I call on Ted of ATFI, please.
Good morning again. I am Ted Lopez of Alter Trade Foundation, working here in Negros. Our NGO has been supporting agrarian reform beneficiaries so that they will be productive, gainful in their given in their acquired farms, and so that they could also rise up from poverty. Actually, at the start of the CARP program of the government, there were so many opposition to it, saying that the plantations will not be viable if they are shredded and they are divided among the farmers. We are happy that we have arrived at the right formula in supporting agrarian reform beneficiaries. We have promoted sustainable agriculture, collective management of farms, and also in marketing their products to the fair trade market, to the local consumers, socially responsible consumers. And even our program were adopted by DAR and also by the SRA in what they call the Black Farm. They studied our approaches and our programs, and they were adopted by government. Right now, most of our agrarian reform beneficiaries have already passed through the poverty line. They were able to send their children to school and to college, no? And the list of them are now at the food threshold. So especially under the pandemic situation, they need help in ensuring food security first among their households and among their neighboring small farms. This present bill contains all the necessary programs that would be effective, based on our experience, that would be effective in ensuring the poverty reduction of everyone in this that would be supported by social enterprises. So we are fully supporting this bill. We will campaign for the signing of the support for this bill, signatures for this bill. And we hope that before this administration ends, we will be successful to have this bill passed by the government. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Ted. So from the Visayas, let's move to Luzon with our, may now call on our colleagues from Dios Mabalos Foundation. While they are still preparing, may I call on Panya?
Good morning. I am Lara Millames of Pusma. Po.
Sige, go ahead please, Lara
Wait
May.
lang po.
Oh, I think we have connection issues. So let's get back to them later. Okay, let me now call on Kevin De La Cruz.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. Okay, so in behalf, my name is Kevin. I'm the Entrepreneurship Manager of PhilDev Foundation. And our mission, we are a nonprofit organization with the mission of alleviating poverty through entrepreneurship, innovation, and technology. So as part of our, given that mission, we are supporting the present bill, and it should be passed now because of three reasons. So the first one is inclusion. So when we talk about social enterprises, it is an avenue, it is a mechanism wherein we're actually bringing in more of the local communities, more of our people in the different sectors of society to be, of course, right now when we talk about the local economy, economic growth is really based on how much, when you talk about, it is normally measured using the gross domestic product. But right now, are we actually measuring it based on impact? So if we are to support this, social and more and more of our local communities will be included, will actually feel the ripples of what we call what we consider as economic growth. So it is an avenue for inclusion. Then second is, let us support the present bill because we're talking about sustainability. Sustainable in terms of development interventions, because right now there are a lot of interventions when talking about social services that are actually, some of them are in the short term. But when you look at the reality of leaving no one behind, of looking at the sustainable development goals, there's a need for us to support solutions that provide a foundation for the development of more communities in the Philippines, of more of these initiatives that spur ownership, that spur empowerment to more people, especially those who are in great need. And then lastly is collaboration, because we might think that social enterprises is more of a typical enterprise. But when you look at social enterprise, it is actually helpful, especially right now that we're facing the pandemic. And solutions right now are every institution, including government organizations, are in the lookout for what will really solve the toughest problems we're facing right now. And it is really the call for social enterprises to stand out, to propose solutions that will make us form the new normal. So we're hoping that social enterprises will be seen not just as a business entity. Okay, it will actually be seen as a catalyzer of change, as a place where innovations can be sustained as we are actually developing this new normal, so to speak. So PhilDev is here so to support the present bill. So please, let's pass it now. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kevin. May I now call on Dr. Dex Galban of Alaga Health?
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Dexter Galban, CEO and founder of Alaga Health, a digital social health enterprise that seeks to give back to every Filipino the power to choose where, when, and how they access healthcare through our all-in-one web and mobile platform and applications. In the Philippines, 6 out of 10 Filipinos pass away without ever seeing a doctor. And that's why we want to empower health workers to be able to care for our Filipino patients anytime, anywhere, in every way. From telemedicine that keeps people healthy through online consultations, home care that brings health to your home, e-pharmacy that even brings medications to your very doorstep, to clinic pre-booking that will decongest our hospitals for our poorest Filipinos, and even give back to health workers the opportunity to earn sustainably while living in this country. Alaga Health will be there for our most vulnerable Filipinos. To address poverty, we need to keep our people healthy, but investing in healthcare and technology as a social enterprise, as a startup, is a gargantuan task that makes it difficult for people to even consider it as a viable social enterprise. We need to make a way to even begin the conversation about building businesses and developing solutions that address essential services like health. Government needs to show that it's willing to invest in its people, in its ideas, not just when they've made it, but even when they're starting. This is why Alaga Health supports the present bill. We need the present generation to invest in the future. We need the present government to invest in the future. We need the present to build the future of healthcare. And we need the present bill to build the future. Pass the present bill now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Dex. We move on to other partners. I call on Vi Reyes.
Hi, hello, good morning. My name is Vi Reyes. I'm the CEO of Bote Central. We have been espousing social enterprise business framework since 2004 when we started with the coffee business of ours. So I am also the head of the Philippine Coffee Alliance. This is a network organization of smallholder farmers from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. We also espouse social entrepreneurship and as a business model for coffee farmers. As the head of the Philippine Coffee Alliance also, we have been working with the Forest Foundation Philippines because we believe that social entrepreneurship is a business model not just for self, it's also a business model for others and for the earth. And since 2004, we have been engaged with coffee farmers from different parts of the country because we believe that farmers should not remain as suppliers of quality green coffee beans, but farmers, women, and youth in coffee producing areas or communities should be able to engage themselves as vertical value chain players in the coffee industry, which means that farmers can become farmers, roasters, retailers, and businessmen in the coffee agribusiness. So when we were also dealing with the government, our local governments, and our agencies, the different agencies that we have, it was a challenge for us, and we would like for us to have an enabling environment as far as doing business here in the Philippines. Why? Because when we have to participate in the complete value chain of coffee, and if there's no mechanism for government to understand the principles that we espouse, it will be hard for government to enact policies. It will be hard for government to implement these policies, which would give us all an enabling environment. So that's why this present bill is very important as far as having this mechanism of as a sustainable business model that will work for everyone. It is important that government would understand the principles, the values, and the benefits of having a social enterprise framework work for everybody, not just for a few, but we want it to be mainstream. That's all. So let us make SE work for self, others, and earth. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mai. I now call on Thea.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, Thea, we can hear you.
Good morning. I am Althea from the Foundation for a Sustainable Society, Inc., or FSSI. FSSI is a resource institution. We were established 25 years ago through a successful debt for development agreement between the governments of the Philippines and Switzerland. So we are a nonprofit organization. Our mission is to provide social investments, both financial and non-financial, to enterprises with people, planet, and profit objectives, also known as the triple bottom line. So the present bill is important to FSSI because it's important for the social enterprise partners that we serve. So our partners include Bote Central and Coffee for Peace. We heard them earlier. So while many of them are making an impact in their communities, kulang ang support na nakukuha nila to sustain their mission. So the present bill, when enacted, would recognize their contribution and ensure that they get the assistance they need to survive, not only to survive, but also to thrive, scale up, and uplift more people out of poverty. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Thea. Before we continue, just a time check. It's already 11 o'clock. I would like to indulge partners in the call if we can extend for a few more minutes to cover all organizations and get the support from all organizations who are in the call. We have at least 4 coalition partners on the list. Thank you so much. May I now call on Norby, please?
Hi, good morning, everyone. I am Norby Salonga from De La Salle University's Lasallian Social Enterprise for Economic Development Center. At DLSU, we acknowledge the pivotal role of social enterprises in addressing societal divides and, of course, in nation building. Through LSEED, we provide formation programs to our students in our curricular and co-curricular efforts by allowing them to work with community members from the marginalized sectors in creating social enterprises. We also put emphasis on the transformational role of community members as key stakeholders of the sector. We value diversity and inclusion in all of our efforts and ensuring that as an institution, we promote and contribute to the attainment and localization of the United Nations SDG. Working in the sector for almost 10 years now has enabled me to see both the enablers and barriers in the growth of social enterprises. Yes, various organizations from the civil society, academia like the LSU, and the private sector have invested resources to help build an ecosystem that will promote and support the social, economic, and environmental endeavors of SDs. However, we're also aware of the fact that a law like present bill and support programs from the government are critical in sustaining the gains of the sector and in building an ecosystem that will enable the growth of the social enterprises in the country. As an academic institution forming social entrepreneurs, this is the very reason why we actively involve ourselves in the Poverty Reduction through Social Entrepreneurship Coalition. Our experience working with over 300 social entrepreneurs and 120 organizations in ASEAN plus Japan, China, and Korea made us realize that now is the time for us to pass a law that will support the SE sector in the country. Hence, let us advocate for the passing of the Poverty Reduction through Social Entrepreneurship Bill now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Norby. Let me now call on Carlo.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Again, I'm Carlo Sagun. I'm a director of Bayan Academy. And of course, we are an NGO and an institutional social entrepreneur led by no less than Dr. Morato, our chairman and president, who's also considered one of the trailblazers in the social enterprise development sector in the country. So, well, Bayan Academy is in the mission of democratizing social entrepreneurship for Filipinos. And we see social enterprise development or developing social enterprise rather as a means to institutionalize the social innovations that have been started for the Filipinos, especially those who are in the bottom of the pyramid. And through our various programs here in Bayan Academy, we have seen how the movement has grown in the different strata of development that we have been involved with. For instance, at the community level, our grassroots training programs have seen happier, healthier, and wealthier families who have started up their social enterprises and sustained them to acceleration and growth. In the level of the academe, our master's program co-delivered with Ateneo Graduate School of Business, which will actually start the 4th and 5th batches this year, has seen social entrepreneurs level up their business performance and their social performance by tenfold, sometimes even by 100-fold. And this has been witnessed by some of the participants in the room here. In the government sector, we have been involved in area development plans for local government units and national government agencies. And we have seen how social enterprise development has been used or utilized as a main strategy for poverty alleviation in the jurisdictions of these government agencies. And for the industry group, we have seen through corporate social responsibility programs that we've co-delivered, how social enterprise development has contributed to the strategic CSR or the business outcomes of these large enterprises or corporations that we have served. And throughout all these interventions for these different strata of development, we have seen promising outcomes, whether they be in the grassroots or in the large corporations that we've served. Although there are these promising outcomes, we believe that this is still a very, very, very small outcome to that nationwide potential that we can still achieve through a very systemic implementation of a national social enterprise development plan. And The social enterprise development sector definitely can use a lot more collaborators. And we have on hand right now the opportunity to have a systemic approach of having or implementing rather this nationwide social enterprise development plan through the present bill or the social enterprise bill that we're trying to push. Given this potential of the social enterprise bill, we in Bayan Academy are in full support of its passing, and we are committing our resources to aiding the present coalition and having this bill passed sooner, at the soonest possible time. So thank you.
Thank you, Carlo. May now call on Anna.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Anna Tan from the Ateneo Center for Social Entrepreneurship. The Ateneo de Manila University has been part of the present coalition since the very beginning. Through the Ateneo Center for Social Entrepreneurship, we believe that the creation and support for social enterprises not only contribute towards nation building, but adds in the goal for a more sustainable future for all of us. As an academic institution, we believe that the practice of social entrepreneurship carries the Ateneo spirit of men and women for others. That is why we are one with the coalition in saying, pass the present bill now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna. We also have colleagues. JP, would you want to come in?
Thank you, Gomer. Magandang umaga sa lahat. I'm John Paul Uminga once again of Enablers Incorporated and a social entrepreneurship researcher currently connected with the Queensland University of Technology. In behalf of Enablers Incorporated, I would like to express our support to the immediate passing of the present bill. As a social enterprise, our mission is to engage and collaborate with partners by strengthening organizations and programs to better contribute to sustainable development, especially in the areas of poverty reduction, economic development, health and nutrition, child and youth development, and climate action. As an advocate of entrepreneurship previously connected with Go Negosyo and the Office of the Presidential Consultant on Entrepreneurship, roaming around the country, I've seen the critical role that social enterprises play in helping empower base of the pyramid communities through employment as suppliers of raw materials, through provision of access to important services, among many others. The bill for me highlights three important things. Number one, the need to further promote social entrepreneurship, especially among our fellow, our young people who would be the next generation of nation builders. Number two, to provide support to the SE practitioners. And number three, develop a responsive ecosystem to rally the country across sectors to enable social enterprises as nation builders whose mission is to lift our fellow Filipinos out of poverty. To put it succinctly, there's no reason why the present bill shouldn't be prioritized, and we urge our fellow Filipinos to support the bill that is pro-poor, pro-Filipino, and pro-equality. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat.
Maraming salamat, JP. Next, I would like to call on Ms. Mitos.
Hi, everyone. Mitos Orhel, and I'm the president of the World Fair Trade Organization in Asia, the regional network of mission-led enterprises in 20 countries in Asia. We work to enable economically disadvantaged peoples and communities to be out of poverty, marginalization, and exclusion through fair trade. On behalf of WFTO Asia, we strongly extend our solidarity and support for the urgent passing of the national present bill to help the transformation of the poor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Mitos. We also welcome in the call Ms. May, Ms. May Swarin from the Office of Congressman Daza. Finally, I would like to call on Ms. Lisa, the convener of the Present Coalition and also president of the Institute for Social Entrepreneurship in Asia.
Thank you, Gomer. I think we're going over time already, so I'll be very quick. As I was already expressing, the poverty reduction through social entrepreneurship bill was important prior to the pandemic because it was seen as a bill that would assist the acceleration process for social enterprises to contribute to the sustainable development goals. With the pandemic, it's become more urgent that we pass the bill because 96% of social enterprises in the country are grappling with recovery even as they are contributing to the goal of zero poverty and the sustainable development goals as a whole. So we're urging the Duterte administration and our champions in Congress, in the Senate, and the House of Representatives to work with us to tag the present bill as urgent and to pass it today, pass it now, because in order for us to really assist our people in achieving recovery, inclusive recovery, and building back fairer, we will need social enterprises to recover and to be assisted in that process. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Miss Lisa. This is a final call. Anyone who would still want to register their statement of support, calling once, twice, third time. Okay. Again, thank you so much from the present Coalition Secretariat. Lubos-lubos ang aming pasasalamat for all of you who have attended our event this morning. And before we close, may I call on Lauren to just introduce the change.org petition. And then...
Yes. Thank you so much, Gomer. And of course, I was very glad and I was very pleased to hear everybody's support. I know we're a bit over time. I would just quickly share with everybody our petition platform, which is now active and online. Here, let me share my screen, please. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
All right, so now we're online and we're active, and I would like to invite everybody to go to the present, past the present bill now via the change.org platform. It's very easy to sign the petition. You would just need to put your first name, your last name, and your email address. And of course, you can also put, of course, your country and where you're coming from. So you can put your region there so that we would know, we would know really how much it's spread throughout the regions in the Philippines. As part of the platform as well, we have included, of course, the important definition of what the present bill is about and how much it has, how much COVID-19 has affected a lot of our social enterprises. And of course, some of the key features which are going to be present in the present bill. So I think with that, I believe that I've already invited everybody, and I hope that we would increase and we would reach our goal in getting that 1 million signatures. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lauren. We will share the links to the petition, and we enjoin all coalition partners also to gather signature in behalf of the coalition from your stakeholders and from all who are participating in your social enterprise activities. I think that's all for now. And let's see each other again in the next activities of the present coalition. Thank you so much, and see you soon again in the other activities.
Could we have another photo, Gomer?
Yes, please.
There were some people who were not here during the first time that we did it.
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay.
If everyone can turn on your video cameras now. Yan.
Okay.
1, 2. Okay. One more. I think let's give Bads, because Bads, there are 2 windows. Yes, okay, everyone has been part of the photo. Okay, that's all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you,
Successful launch.
everyone.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Congrats.
Bye.
Thank you.
Go,
Thank you, Sir Gomar.
Bye.
Thank you.
Salamat.
Salamat po.